Welcome back to Little Snickers Podcast. I'm Michael fucking Rainey here with Kaudan Jala.
Hey, buddy.
Kaudan Jala. Our beloved Jake is leading a swingers retreat tonight. So
He's
we're
doing
welcoming
the diddling this time.
we welcome our friend John Kensil. John, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Hi, everybody. Hi.
John, did you bring a friend with you?
Oh, yes, I did. Which one do you want to talk about? Oh, this is the police.
You have more than one friend with you?
Multiple?
Yes, this is the police podcast. Or the detective. What would you describe it as? The murder mystery podcast.
We're the Thin Blue Line podcast.
This is here in case you need any experts to talk about anything. Oh, it's in slow motion. I can't see it. Whatever. I got a cop puppet in my hand.
That thing's way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I always said if you get pulled over, go, officer, my brother's on the job. Oh, he is he? And you was yeah, motherfucker. Right. And the cop pulls a puppet out. Hey, so is my brother. Right? And one time I was in the helium contest at the comedy club. Is this being? It's not going out. I'm wasting my breath.
Yeah, Mike.
My puppets.
All right, guys, let me know if you can hear us now.
How about this? Can you hear me go buck, buck?
Yeah, if you can hear us going buck, buck, please let me know.
Can you hear me? We hear some ambient mic in the room. A cock.
Here, but barely.
Look, a cock puppet.
All right, so we can hear me now. John, can you say something?
Hey,
Hey,
me,
Hey guys,
the inventor of Buck Buck.
All right, cool. Guys, thanks for hanging in there. Danny Dubs, thanks for working through that.
Sweet.
All right. John
We're
Kensil,
back.
welcome back. John had just started to tell us all about his friends. And I'm not going to dare call them puppets because that's like calling a little person a midget. So John's friends are here with us. Chat, welcome. Thank you for staying with us.
And you can't say midget anymore. They want to be called dwarves or little people, but I call them what they are:
Half men.
keepers of the forest. And I did that. I said that in the helium contest. I thought I was being funny in the helium. You ever do a joke and you're the one who gets it, so you start giggling to yourself? I did the helium contest.
My life, baby.
And oh my god! And I brought my guitar case out.
Okay.
And I said, you guys want to hear a little police?
Mm-hmm.
and lids, and I pull a little miniature cop puppet out. Nobody laughed.
Now, right before we went on air, John had started to tell us a story that I really want to hear, but I begged him to say it while we were on air. John, can you hit us with the backstory?
What was it about?
Gary Heidnick.
The hookers at the
okay.
hotel.
It's funny. Philadelphia. Kevin Hart has a movie out about the move bombing years ago in '85. But I swear from like 80 till 2000, there's been crazed stuff here happened in Philadelphia. And one was Gary Heidnick. And he was a weird not mass murderer. He would get hookers and keep them trapped in his basement. I think he killed one of them, or one died and he fed it to the other. It was just a really weird incident. You ever see this guy too? He had his head looked like a half keg of beer. It was a big, right, Frankenstein type head, but he was one of those evil geniuses. Someone said he had a brand new Rolls Royce, but the engine broke, and so he went and put a Chevy engine in it, just ruined the car. But anyway, he was known for keeping the hookers in his basement until he got caught, and he had some sidekick who was an idiot who ratted them all out. But on Roosevelt Boulevard, there was a famous place called Charlie's Pizza. And they put the mentally challenged hookers in the hotel room next door to Charlie's Pizza. And people were going there to get pizza, and they're like reporters and stuff, and they're getting pizza, and they're hand the mentally challenged hookers for their stories. And these women were not there, and he had them locked in his basement.
Real pizza lovers.
Right. Oh yeah. And I was at a show one night, and somebody brought this up, and the comedian on stage. This isn't my line, so any letters, right? Anyway, so this comedian said, yeah, Gary Heidnick, he coined the phrase, I'm so hungry, I could eat a retarded black woman. And he got in trouble for it. The club owner was all pissed off.
What a star, baby.
No. But if you read about that in the Philly crime era, so he went to jail. This Gary Heidnik, some guy named Mudman.
Oh, Robert Mudman Simon.
He killed him in prison, right?
Killed Heidnik?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is part of this? I forgot about that.
And you ever hear how he got the name Mudman?
I can.
He was like a biker.
Begging you to tell me.
biker wannabe. And one of the ways he got initiated into the biker gang, someone went to the funny sit-down bathroom on bread and he ate it. It's called Mudman. I thought he was like a blues singer.
Jake, stay at that swingers retreat. There's a new retarded sheriff in town.
There was a question in the chat
God.
for you, John. That small cop puppet.
Yes.
Somebody asked, all caps, really reading from my mind, was that from Mr. Rogers?
Oh no, it looks like it though. It's look at that. It's from like
Same
the 50s.
style, right?
Yeah,
With
it looks
the
just like
arms.
it. There you
Yeah.
go. If you can
John,
see.
how many cops do you have in that bag?
Well, there's a cop, and I have
That's cop and a half.
I got a public defender puppet, and I have another puppet here.
For real, looks like Sandy from the OC.
This puppet here.
You mean a puppet defender?
If you can see him there, he can pull out strings. So anyway, this puppet here. You know what I do with this bag here too? As a joke in my act, I'll go on stage and say, "Hey, during the quarantine, I've been working on my ventriloquism, but I left my puppets at home."
Okay.
And I go, "Does anybody here in the audience have them here?" And here I give these all out to the audience. Like 10 people raise their hand. I have one. I have one. And so then what I do is I go, "Here, I'm working on my ventriloquism. You can't see my lips move," and I put your COVID mask on your face. Yeah. And he tells like 2 corny jokes. I got married in the garage. I couldn't back out. Then the third joke is, "Hey, bananas are good for your memory. My girlfriend shoved one in my ass. I'll never forget that." All right, and it's the puppet saying it. All right, and it was this puppet here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera there.
Does he have a name, John?
His name's like it's from the '60s and European. His name's like Paco. Right, he's Spanish. Like his skin's a little darker than ours, but not you wouldn't think of something else. Well, I did those jokes with the puppet at some show, and very funny comedian Keith from up the block. He's like the Black Weird Al Yankovic. He does parodies of raps. He's very funny.
Yeah.
So he goes up after me. He goes, "Hey, give it up for everybody on the show tonight," and everybody on the show. And how about that? How about Kensil with that MF and N-word puppet? And he goes, you people are clapping. He has an N-word puppet, and I'm in the back. He's Spanish.
It's Stomper in the chat said he ate a 250 milligram edible and wasn't ready for that.
Right, and it was just ridiculous. And I get on, as like look at me. I look like a German prison guard, right? And or a Dutch crossing guard or something. And big head, blonde, right? And so a black guy goes, he goes, I would really go on stage with a black puppet. And so he's been sitting in his bag for 6 months since it happened. I'm bring it out.
Cat on Jolly, why don't you go ahead and flip that coin so we can find out whether we're doing.
Ready?
John, I don't know how familiar you are with the show, but we flip a coin at the beginning of each show. And if it's heads, we get to do an Impractical Jokers episode, which John loves.
When we started this, I said, okay, but I want the option to flip for it every week. I really want to do a podcast about the Impractical Jokers specifically. So every week we flip for it to see who is going to do their version of a stinker. And so far I am defeated. Mike is undefeated. So we're going to flip it. And if I win, we're going to talk about the Impractical Jokers. If Mike wins,
we're going to hear more about special needs hookers.
Here we go. Actually, I kind of want to hear about the hookers now. Damn it. Hookers it is. Again.
Well, yeah, I don't know if there's any special needs hookers in this story that I'm about to tell. However, I do want to hear more about them. All right, I will. Yeah. John, you're familiar with this guy that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yes.
And this gentleman's name is Herbert Mullin.
Yes.
Okay.
The schizophrenic boxer.
Yes.
Ooh.
The earthquake killer.
Whoa, I like that nickname.
This man did a lot.
Is he a big fat man?
He's a little tiny guy. I've seen him described as being between 5'7", which would be a little short king, to 5'9", which is a normal size king. Yeah. However, he's got a little skinny frame. Yeah, looks like a normal sweet boy. But
And
boy,
he was a boxer.
yeah, he got
Yeah.
into boxing after he started killing people.
Whoa.
It's insane. I was looking at his photographs because it's neat. So, like, what do they look like today? This guy looks like a nerdy little. They're casting a movie. Little like guy, bald and with a pencil thin mustache, old, incredible.
Well, he was like
Short John Waters.
It could be
Not
Mr.
as
Shoot for
creepy
that.
looking.
Dude, he looks like he does look like the all-American kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that yeah, we did. Yes,
And all through, up until high school, he was viewed as such. Got good grades. Everybody liked him. He had a girlfriend who was getting a little pussy.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's
Oh.
rare for our killers.
He was getting a little pussy, but he wanted a little dick. So he
Wow.
later got into that.
Okay.
And he was also voted most likely to succeed.
yes, he was. Yep.
And I'll give you a little more background. This gentleman was born April 18th, 1947. There were two significant events which influenced his behavior that occurred on April 18th. You want to take any guesses as to what they were?
In his first month alive, you mean?
No, it just happened to occur on April 18th at some point during
Okay.
history.
Oh, that's a good question.
He had a birthday party that nobody showed up to.
No.
Oh.
It wasn't Hitler's birthday or anything, right? He's April
It
1st.
was the day that Einstein died.
Oh, really? He was born. Okay.
So John was getting warm.
Yeah. 300 more guesses I would have gotten there.
All right, so this motherfucker killed 13 people within
Whoa.
6 months.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's prolific. Those
Yeah.
are numbers in short term.
Yep. He really cranked them out. Used a gun, used a knife, and a baseball bat from one of them.
Jesus Christ. Fucking De Niro on the Untouchables.
Did you see this the story with the bat? You know, when I read the stories about the guy, he had a '58 Chevy station wagon. So it's like not a '57 Chevy. They got a little smaller. It was a station wagon. He pulled over and asked this guy to check his oil or engine problems. It's the guy bent over in the engine. He whacked him with the bat and killed him.
Jesus Christ.
I think in full view of a neighbor, and it's insane. And but in my mind, I'm thinking, where's that car at today? Did some hot rod guy get it? All right, but and he did it in front of somebody. They saw him do it. It's just insane.
Is that how he got caught?
The last
Speed
murder,
ahead.
the last murder that he committed, he killed a guy in a residential neighborhood just doing a drive-by shooting. And that guy's neighbor got the license plate, and police ended up catching him and
Damn.
that same day.
All right.
Now, going back to high school, like he was like a normal kid. Everybody liked him. He had a million good things going for him. We got a bad dog back here. And things seemed to take a turn when his best friend, Dean Richardson, was killed in a car crash.
In high school?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was, I might add that this all takes place in Santa Cruz, California.
Okay. We'll be there in a couple weeks.
Oh, no
I'm
way.
going to drive through there, yeah.
You should go check it out. I hope
There's
somebody
an
kills you.
REI there. I hope to rent some gear from.
No.
There's a what there?
REI. Outdoor store.
Well, there's
Okay,
about to be an RETARD there.
Now, and what Mike just said about his friend getting killed, it really affected him. He built a shrine in his house to the guy, and like an altar, and it must have really F on him.
Well, he was one of his pallbearers. Like in the public announcement of this kid's funeral, they list Herb Mullin as one of the pallbearers.
Ugh.
What, I guess, were they seniors, juniors, driving age? So I had
Right
to be
after
one
high
of
school.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, right after
Right
high
after they
school.
graduated.
Damn. That's in
And
the 60s at this point, right?
yeah, that was 1965.
Okay.
So in 1966, a former classmate, a gentleman by the name of Jim Gianera, Italian. I don't know how you feel about that, John, but we are not a pro-Italian podcast.
You got a Italian puppet in there? Is he still working the lineup for
Zip it up.
Tucci's?
Zip up that fucking bag, John, if there is. Oh, God, no.
It's an Italian sock puppet. All right.
I see a lot of cop puppets over there, man.
Gets me out so many tickets.
Just all in your backseat wearing seatbelts. All right, get those boys home safe.
Show me your PUP card.
I got this.
All right, so this fella, Jim Gianera, introduces him to marijuana.
Righteous, dude. Perfect timing.
Well, seems righteous. However, Herb Mullin at some point determines that weed ruins his brain.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
And he also gets into LSD.
Fuck yes, dude.
He so much so that he ends up getting a tattoo across his belly that says "legalize acid."
Really?
Whoa. Oh my God.
I thought it was a birthmark. Man,
When did he switch? Did he start to hate marijuana after that tattoo, I imagine?
All right, so within about a 5 or 6 year span from the time like where he first starts smoking weed and getting into drugs to the time when he starts committing murders,
So through the summer of love.
yes,
Yeah.
things progressively get worse. His mental illness just
Okay.
fucking takes off.
And he's in the like North California the whole time.
He's in the Santa Cruz area. Yeah. Yep.
Everything takes
Hey,
place there.
Yeah.
Just forgive me. Real quick. I lived out there. Where is Santa Cruz by? Like,
It's like
Santa
Central
Cruz
California. It's south of
is
San Jose.
On the coast, just south of San Jose in the Bay Area,
So
right
you're-
above Monterey.
so you're not in Los Angeles. It's up the top. Or
It's in the woods with the
Yeah.
redwood
Yes.
forest and all that, with like big beach cliffs and all that shit.
So after he starts getting into drugs, he enrolls in community college and he ends up getting his associates in road engineering. So he's on the right track.
You have any affiliation with like Ken Kesey, Merry Pranksters, Hunter S. Thompson, any of the Hell
I
Angel
don't
shit
think
that
so.
was happening?
No, I
around
don't
then?
think so.
I think that was like late '60s Santa Cruz. That's where like their compound was.
Oh,
and they would
okay.
all have their biker parties and drop acid.
Yeah,
and
none
shit.
that I came across, but that wouldn't surprise me. Did you know Santa Cruz is where they filmed the movie The Lost Boys?
Oh, really? With the pier?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah, it seems like a very cool town. Like, I didn't read this book. However, it's something that I do want to read. And Chad, if you guys are into it, it's something that I would like to do for a future book club. It's called The Murder Capital of the World by a guy named Emerson Murray. The book revolves around all these murders that happened in the Santa Cruz area in the early 70s. They had 2 serial killers and 1 wild mass murder, all going on at the same time.
Is our buddy one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Herb Mullin, Edmund Kemper, and the mass murderer is a guy named John Lindley Frazier.
I heard of that.
Yeah, Kemper was the guy with the car in Santa Cruz, right?
Oh,
he was
get
like
this.
picking up the hitchhikers and shit.
They ended up either being cellmates or ended up being in the cells right next to one another.
No
That's
way.
what they're and what's his name?
Herb Mullin.
Herb Mullin was like 5'6". The other guy was 6'9". Right.
Whoa, horny height.
and yeah. And the other guy, Edmund Schmegman, whatever his name was, the real tall guy, he didn't like Edward Mullin, or he didn't like him, and because he would sing all the time in the cells. But the real tall guy was he knew psychiatric and different conditioning things, and he trained the short serial killer. He kept singing, so he'd throw water in his face. And so he conditioned him like Pavlov's dog. Like he had to ask if he could sing first, or else he'd get word. So he trained him. He goes, "Can I sing now?"
To be polite.
Yeah. Or else I'll throw. And he said they got along in the beginning. There was acrimonious because they overlapped their murder sprees. But it said he trained him to ask permission to sing.
One of the way that he his primary method of training him was to give him peanuts for every time that he asked for permission.
That's it.
Herbert Mullin loved peanuts.
Yes.
So Edmund Kemper would give him a few peanuts.
Whoa.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, goddamn. That's weird. What a weird connection.
Yeah.
Sidetrack real quick.
Yeah.
Was it last week's episode we were talking about that Supermax prison in Colorado?
Yeah.
Is it called like
ADX Florence.
Yeah. They referenced that in the Better Call Saul finale. Spoiler alert.
Oh no! Did he end up there?
They call it the Alcatraz of the Rockies.
Yeah.
Because no one ever escapes from there.
Isn't there some of the guys from Philadelphia there, like the not Scarfo? Right? Is he still alive? I think. Well, some of the people in Philadelphia, the crime
I didn't know
here,
that.
Mobster shit.
are out in the Colorado area.
I know there's only like you said. There's like what under 400 people in that prison.
I think the
Something
exact
like
number was like 344, and it's
pretty low
maxed out
for,
close to
I
500.
forget where Gotti was at. Like, I know he's out west somewhere.
He's in a Portland Dave and Buster's. He manages it. Now, Richards, if you can confirm that, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure John Gotti is managing a Portland Dave and Buster's.
You know what? Don't even fact check it. I believe it.
You come to me with these tickets and expect a 6-foot teddy bear for fucking tickets?
You got a rubber boa.
You need 200 more tickets, pal. All right. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so in 1968, I mentioned like he has a little hankering for some pee-pee. So he's still has the girlfriend that he has from college, this lovely woman named Loretta. And he once he starts getting in the bird, he breaks it off with Loretta because he's convinced that he's gay.
Full bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a full bird man at this time. Full bird. That's what they call an admiral, I think. Or a colonel. A full bird colonel. Yeah.
He has the wings.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
All colonels are gay?
Yeah, dude. Kentucky Fried Chicken is the gayest chicken you could buy. You know what the secret sauce is?
11 herbs and penises.
Yep. Every homeless dude that was behind like the initial KFC just smacked their dick on the chicken. That's how they got the recipe.
Wait, Colonel, chicken, full bird?
I'm telling you.
That's it.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
Some people also think that look like scrambled eggs when they get the gold leaflets on.
Oh, yeah. Man, those Colonel's shoulders do be making me hungry. Why every time I shake a Colonel's hand, I want chicken and eggs.
And dick. All right, well, get this. In 1968, he gets arrested for the first time. He gets arrested for possession of marijuana.
Oh.
Do you know how fucked up the circumstances have to be in order for you to get busted for possession of weed in 1968 in California?
You got to be doing something.
Yeah, he must have been doing something pretty
throwing
wild.
it off the highway, like
I don't know. Now, at this time, I thought this was kind of funny, but at this time, you want to take a guess as to what his job is?
you didn't go to college, right?
He did. He got an associate's degree. He later went on to San Jose State University, but dropped out of there.
Okay.
I forget.
Taxi driver.
Bellhop.
He managed a Goodwill.
Huh. That's nice.
It is nice. Shortly thereafter, in 1969, he's at a family dinner, which really fucking sends things into a tailspin. What do you think he did at this family dinner?
Oh, no. Complained about the turkey. Said the turkey was dry. I hope he didn't say the turkey was dry.
Croutons were stale.
He was exhibiting a behavior which is indicative, which is a symptom of schizophrenia called echopraxia, where he's mimicking another person's behavior.
Okay. And not to be a goof.
At first, his family thinks it's a goof, so he's mimicking his brother-in-law's behavior.
Damn, he went for the brother-in-law.
So much so, it's all fun and games until he does this. He asks his sister if she'd have sex with him.
Whoa. Dude, I was going to say, what was he playing footsie with his sister at the dinner table?
Man.
Yeah.
I'm always
You're so good
close
at
to
this,
guessing.
man. You should be a detective.
I should be. I am. That's what we're doing right now.
when he
Yeah,
was mimicking the brother-in-law's behavior, but the brother-in-law was normal, or he had
just a regular guy, just
so he
sitting
was
there
acting
having
like
dinner.
him,
Yep.
not doubling him, I guess.
It was just like, pass the potatoes, pass the potatoes.
Oh
Like
my God.
Johnny 2 times.
Quit it. He's like
You stop
the
it.
harbor marks, Groucho marks for the mirror.
He stuck with this for such an extended period of time that his family begged him to commit himself to Mendocino State Hospital because they recognized, like, okay, they knew he was mentally ill, but this was just the fucking...
Just for this singular
No,
dinner, or
I'm-
it went on for weeks on end?
No, it was just, this happened right before that. But this incident was what, like, kind of convinced everybody to band together and basically give him an intervention and say, like, look, dude, you got to fucking put yourself in the fucking hospital. So he checks himself in for 6 weeks. And it's there where he gets his initial schizophrenia diagnosis, brought on by drug abuse.
That's what the doctors say. It was
Yes,
weed
yeah.
and LSD did this to your brain.
And I think, I don't know, I could imagine like a family during that time. I can imagine it's a hard diagnosis to get, but I imagine that they probably think that has more to do with the symptoms than anything else. You don't want to believe that, a loved one is suffering from something that severe.
Yeah.
Even though people have it and are functional.
Right.
But I think it's just it's a severe diagnosis.
So what you're saying, they wanted to believe it was drugs that induced this
It could be. I don't know.
behavior. Yeah.
I had an uncle that was in the World War II as a Marine,
Mhm.
and he was half shell shocked, and he came out and joined the Korean Army, and he was in the army. They did the Korean army. In the army during the Korean War. Right? Got that surgery and everything. No, but but anyway, he got shell shocked. But in the late 50s and early 60s, they put him on those anti-psychotropic drugs like LSD and stuff.
Yeah.
And my family, it's my dad's brother, thinks that fried his brain and made him hear voices and stuff. The treatment was worse than what he initially had, and he thinks that brought it on. Maybe did this guy go through like electroshock therapy or?
I don't know what kind of therapy he went through. I know eventually he ended up on medication.
Back then, it must have been make you like a zombie.
The medication.
Yes, yeah.
I gotta imagine it had more to do with the LSD than the weed, because the fucking weed had to be trash back then.
Mm-hmm.
Just some swag giving you a headache. LSD was on point though, dude. That sunshine shit. Oh, I wish I lived then.
Oh, I'll take your word for it, baby. All right. Oh, dudes, get this. In fall of 1969, his behavior becomes even more troubling to his family. What do you think they find out that he's doing? I don't know how they found this out, and I don't really want to know, but something fucked up is going on that he's doing to himself. What do you think he's doing?
To himself, not animals.
No.
Making his wiener bleed?
You're warm.
Putting things inside of his wiener.
You're warm, too.
Yeah.
You're both making me hard. Go ahead.
Just keep going. Keep guessing.
Tattooed his wiener.
Anal stuff.
No, he started burning his dick with cigarettes.
Oh.
I was pretty close. Holy shit.
You're a fucking detective.
I really am. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
The weed. The weed makes me smart.
All right, I believe it, man. Now, I got to believe it wasn't his mom that found out he was doing this, because if your mom finds out that you're using a cigarette to burn your dick, she's going to make you use the whole pack to burn your dick.
Yeah.
It had to be his dad.
One of them just stuck in the penis hole.
Oh my God. Ugh. Mental.
So he ends up going back to the Goodwill where he managed, and there's a new boss, and I think it was a guy that used to work there who became the boss, and he starts telling him about all these voices that he's now hearing, which is troubling. So the guy reports back to his family and just saying, just so you know, fucking Herb came in today and he's telling me about all these voices. Add to that, Herb went to a family friend of the Mullin family, and the family friend happened to be a doctor, and Herb started making homosexual advances toward him and telling him about his auditory hallucinations.
In the office room, like the doctor's office.
No, I think he went over their house, or when the guy was over the Mullin residence.
Okay. Damn. Putting it on thick.
Yeah. So it's this interaction with the doctor that ends up getting him committed for the second time. He goes to San Luis Obispo County Hospital, and he's involuntarily committed this time.
I was going to say, yeah. This is
the first time was voluntary. Yeah. The second one was not. And while he's there, by what he tells the doctors, he's deemed a danger to himself and to others. So things are really fucking ramping up here. And
how long does he have to go in for that time? Is that like just a month?
Oh, fuck. I don't know, man. I wish I could give you an answer, but I don't.
It's usually like involuntary is usually 28 days, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
Right.
I've only voluntarily gone to the Nut Hut.
And what's that? Can you do as little as one night?
Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if I should say this, but fuck it. My family actually called them one time, and a crisis team came to my house, but I ran across the field across from my home and got away from them.
And they gave up?
Yeah. I'm back here, baby.
A friend of mine got in a fight with his girlfriend, his wife, up in New York City, and she was all bonkered on Klonopins and lithium Xanax, Paxil stuff. Yeah. And he called it. I think she had to be committed for 72 hours, right? Like and as they're taking her out of the apartment, she said to him, "When I get out here, I'm going to kill you." And they kept her like another 3 days. but that's like, I don't know how like voluntary is. Like back in the 60s, might have been like 7 days or 28 days.
Well, I eventually. All right, this is the Patreon, so I feel comfortable telling you guys this. Eventually, the police brought me to the hospital.
That when you ran?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to stay there. I didn't have to stay there all day. They just brought me in. They asked me if I was going to hurt myself. I said no. They asked me what was going on at that time, and I explained what was going on. They'd be like, "All right, you can get out of here."
Did they break the chopper out? How'd they find you?
They have a way of finding you.
Can't get far on stilts.
Oh, how much can I get?
I honestly, like, the thing that fucked me is I had an open bag of Skittles in my pocket.
They just followed the trail.
They found me, baby. But they were very kind, and like they could tell that I was going through a mental health emergency. And yeah, the cop was very cool. They did handcuff me, but like while they brought me there, the cop was like, "Look, I'm not arresting you, but I'm taking you to the hospital." And he's like, "Man to man, I just need you to say that you're gonna at least go through what they suggest," which was very cool of him. I know you hate cops, but
Maybe.
this was a very nice man.
Okay.
That's
There's a few.
Yeah.
our friend, the X-rated bus driver. When he broke up with his wife,
Mm-hmm.
he went bonkers. Like pulled a butter knife on people, and he had to be put in a friend's hospital for 7 days.
7 days for a butter knife? Jesus Christ.
Man, he was toast. Can you call the cops and take me out of here, please? I
Dude,
really need to go.
In fact, how did they find you? They have a way of finding you. Dude, were you in a fucking hiding in a sewer grate or some shit?
Oh, man. It was a whole thing, man. It's just, there were so many of them.
This is gonna go, all right, week by week, we're gonna get more of this story.
Yeah. I think you saw this coming.
I'm his twin brother.
I'm doing pretty good now.
You are.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
As evidenced by 2 weeks ago, I had on full Dracula makeup here.
And you wore the cape for another couple days after that.
Mm-hmm. I did. That makeup was hard to get off. I was able to get most of it off that night, but the next day I had to go to the place where I work out with my trainer, and I'm working with a trainer, and like I'm really like trying to get in good shape. So I showed up the next day with my trainer with like still some Dracula makeup around my eyes. There were 4 other people there.
Just one more.
Of course, I only go to night training sessions. I'm trying, baby. All right, so back to our buddy, fucking Herbert Mullin here.
He's burning his wang with
With red hot cigar butts.
cool lights. He'd be vaping. He'd be putting the vape on his.
So he ends up getting out, and he ends up living in a commune, and he meets a fellow there by the name of Pat Brown, who they become friends.
Is it back up in Santa Cruz area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get the idea and they think like, hey, maybe we should go see what's happening in Hawaii. They go to Hawaii together, and not long after they get there, Herb voluntarily commits himself to a mental hospital there.
Damn. All right.
Where if you got to go to a mental hospital, you know, it's a place to go. Although I think in Hawaii they do this.
Instead of this, it's
Hang loose butt. Yeah, so he's there for a little. I don't know how long he was there, but I don't think it was too long.
I think it was hang 10 days.
He comes back, and all right, at this point, it's 1971. He comes back to the United States.
Did he get like? Did you get
to the mainland?
Yeah, but is he put up for free? Is it through insurance? Is that like the easiest way?
I don't know.
To get a free Hawaiian vacation?
Ooh.
Go there, no hotel. Put yourself.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Voluntarily commit yourself.
Chad, if you're willing to commit to this bit, we are too. So we might be all getting ourselves a Hawaiian vacation out of this. John, you are so smart, dude.
Yes. If anybody's in Hawaii, first of all, shaka. Second of all, inquire at your local nut hut if we can come for a couple weeks.
Oh man, I love the way you
might
think.
Just beat the system. Holy
Dog,
shit!
I love your brain, brother.
Yes.
What is in that pen?
Smart.
It ain't Pilot G2, I'll tell you that much. Oh man, so get this. When he comes back to the mainland, he starts speaking with a Mexican accent.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
And wearing a sombrero.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, so he's
fucking out
fully
there.
losing it. Yeah.
He's watering his doormat.
Oh man.
Is he doing a bit though? Like, can you
I don't
really?
know. Yeah.
Is anybody this crazy?
Is he trying to get on laughing?
I think
like, I'm a wacka. You know, my God. Hey, also, you know, what do you do with something like that? A lobotomy? You know,
I don't know, man.
Man,
It's scary. I will say this. I used to work. I think I worked there. I worked at a home for mentally ill adults, and they were all older people, and you could read their files, and every person there had like this.
You could read their files if the boss wasn't there.
Every person there had this like heartbreaking, inciting incident, which you could tell just expedited the severity of their mental illness.
Yeah. Like one thing made them snap. That was an obvious moment.
Usually it was like the death of a child or the death of a spouse. But you could see how like these things like really ramp up quickly.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't have anything like that.
Well, for him, it was his close friend.
Sure, yeah. But this is years and years later.
10 years? 10 years? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think schizophrenia, like symptoms usually present themselves in early adulthood. Okay. So that would be about the time. And also, this is a theory I read about. I think it was on fucking Reddit, but it would fit. I don't know how true it is, but somebody said that his friend that died may have been a love interest for him, not just friend love. It was like he knew that he was gay, and he was in romantic love with this man, and he was just gone. Mm-hmm. So that, I don't know, I guess would fit.
Yeah, that adds up.
What man do you love the most, John?
What man do I love the most?
Yeah.
John Mayer. Hmm. What man do you love the most? Hasbullah?
Beetlejuice. I love him so much.
I know you met him?
I did. Yes. And he was so kind to me.
Wow, you met your hero and it worked out.
It was. And it was on a show with Bob Levy. When I first started comedy, I was like 6 months in. Everything was going.
You met Beetlejuice Green in 6 months in?
Brother. Everything was going so fast, and like I was so excited for my future. And my biggest show was that I was going to be on a show with Beetlejuice. We had a backstage green room. It was the first time that I had free beers, so they brought back a tub of Heinekens. Whoa. I was in heaven. And Beetlejuice had this briefcase that had a lock on it that had all of his DVDs in it. Because he would sell this insane DVD which showed him doing pranks, having sex, beating people up.
Oh my God, it was a porno.
Yeah, among other things. Yeah. It was this insane DVD that he would sell after the show. But one of the greatest experiences of my life was like that night getting to sit there and have a conversation with Beetlejuice and watching him try to figure out the combination to give me one of his CDs.
He was giving it to you?
He was going to give it to me for free, but his handler, I think the guy's name was Sean, was like, hey, they got to pay for those. He couldn't. He was trying now.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. I think that was at Alligators down somewhere.
It was Millennium Nightclub.
Oh.
Which might have been Alligators at some point.
Because I went to that show. I think I might. I know I got a picture of him and Levy, but I was there when you were there too. And I was like in awe looking at Beetlejuice. And at the time, I think he was living with Bob Levy over in Deptford, New Jersey, staying in his house. I go, Bob, how's that? Yeah, because Sean was his handler, manager, so but he was staying at Bob's. And Bob said something like, I find this dirty, shitty underwear in the dishwasher.
Just trying to wash it.
Was he still on Howard like every day pretty much then?
That was like his heyday,
right? Yeah.
Brother, when he came in, it was like fucking Elvis coming down there.
I bet.
And he hosted the show, which meant like he and Levy did like 5 minutes up front together.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice probably made about $5,000 to do that.
Yeah.
But man, that was heaven. So that's the man that I love the most. How about you, John?
Man, I don't know. French Stewart. For my birthday last year, someone had him a cameo.
Oh,
and he's like, "Hello, John. This is French Stewart." And like, if I thought he wasn't married, like he was a Bannigan waiter, or he wasn't. He's on the waiting list, but he's married with a kid and stuff.
Whoa, what is that phrase, dude? That guy's got a little bit of Bannigan waiter in him, if you know what I mean. What the fuck, dude? What do you mean? He's got like a stoplight in his living room?
Bannigan waiter,
What, wears a lot of flair? I don't understand what he's trying to say.
He can write his name upside down on a paper menu thing. But I don't know. Ric Flair. I don't know. So real quick. Last week was Monster Mania in Cherry Hill.
I know.
Well, I went to one last year. They're right before the quarantine, and Ric Flair was there. I'll tell you, on TV, you think he's like he's as tall and physically as big as I am.
Mhm.
Maybe when he was younger, he's big. Like he shrinks. He's over. I'm like, look at him. I'm like, who's this guy next to me? And I'm all red and sweaty, but walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
But he's something I think is hilarious. But so he was all right. So I keep wanting to say Edwin. Who's the guy saying that's
Edwin McCain, I'll be.
that's I think he's or the other guy, Edwin Mullin, other Mullin singer. He's like,
Lola, Rockabye.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
You know, I went to a party and Dennis Hopper was there or some
Yeah.
song. Lullaby.
Man, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking
Some
about.
90s song, Edwin Mullin.
Oh, dude. So getting back to the sombrero in the Mexican accent. During this time, he starts getting into the idea of reincarnation.
Santeria.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He gets into the idea of reincarnation, which he got into when his friend died, I think, because he missed him so much. But he gets into it heavy, and there's so many different like cults around that area at this
Hare
time.
Krishna's probably big back
Oh,
then,
what a-
right?
what a
Are they
time,
into
baby.
that shit? Reincarnation?
Indians,
I don't know.
And like India
Yeah.
is big in.
Hinduism, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So during this time, he falls in with all these different like weirdos that are in all kinds of different shit, and he starts telling people about the voices in his head, and somebody convinces him that the voices are just messages from God, and that he should act upon them.
Uh-oh, he found the right group of Looney Tunes to fucking convince him.
What do you hear where this is going? Holy God!
Did you know all this shit before?
You
know about this guy?
I glanced at it,
Okay.
but Mike knows. Well, this next step in this guy's mental de-evolution. What do you hear of this?
Well, before I get, this plays in, so I'll say this before I say that. He gets into boxing.
Oh, yeah, he still hasn't gotten the
Yeah, he's living in San Francisco at this point.
Dude, okay, yeah, you said boxing at the beginning, and this does not seem to be going towards a violent sport. You know what I mean?
Dude, he only boxed for I think about 6 months, and there was a documentary on him. You can find it on YouTube. I forget the name of it, but it's like 45 minutes long, so you'll be able to recognize it from that. And somebody from the gym talks about him coming in there and what he was like. They said when he was training with the trainer one-on-one, he was wonderful. He did everything that was asked of him. But the second you turned your back on him, he was doing some insane shit. So
Like humping the speed bag or some shit?
I don't even know. The one crazy thing that I found documented evidence of was that toward the end of his time there, which was about 6 months after he started boxing, like he was like full on committed to this boxing, and he got pretty good within 6 months. He signed up for this Golden Gloves tournament, and he beat a guy so badly that even after the bell rung, he
Ref had
wouldn't.
to pull him off?
Numerous people had to pull him off.
Man.
This is his first fight.
He would
outside
not.
of the
He would
gym.
not stop beating this guy.
Yeah.
And so
Christ.
I think it was so disturbing to everyone involved that he was asked not to come back to the gym.
Yeah.
And at that point, this is September of 72. He stops taking his meds. The voices are now telling him to kill people. And he has convinced himself that there's a major earthquake coming. And the only way to ward off this major earthquake is to kill people.
Was there?
Well, 8 days after he's arrested, a major earthquake hits that area.
And John, I forgot where he picked up on that theory. Like not Mike, I mean the guy, right?
Crazy.
But maybe in some of his like studies, some civilizations, for some reason he thought that he could. I think because too the Vietnam War was dwindling down.
It was, yeah.
All the casualties, all the people that died during that war weren't dying now because the war was over.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought something bad's gonna happen. I must continue that killing to appease the earthquake gods in a weird way. I'm not fine on phrasing.
Well,
it.
like if he did kill, then the earthquake wouldn't happen.
In his mind, he
thing?
thought
Yeah.
that was the procedure.
That's fucking very freaky that it actually happened after he said that shit.
I think a big part of why that plays into his identity is that his birthday was the anniversary of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake.
Okay. Oh, that was the second significant thing that you said.
Yeah, it was
right?
Einstein's death and then the
Yeah.
San
Oh,
Francisco
okay.
earthquake. So
And
ne-
it was the Bay Area again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Is he like, is schizophrenia like the bird of human people? Like they fly away weeks before the earthquake happens?
Ooh,
It's got, like,
they can
felt
sense
it in
it.
his
Yeah,
bones.
I can picture that.
That's a-
horse girls.
What?
You said birds. I don't know.
You say horse?
Yeah, maybe horse girls.
Horse girls?
I don't know.
Oh, horse girls.
Yeah.
You said it's so
horse girls.
Yeah, like in school, the girl that pretends to be a horse.
Oh, those like the stompy girl that eats leaves and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
horse
The
girl.
stompy girls that eat leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Leave me alone. Get away from me, Roger.
She bites her teacher. You got to shove a carrot up her ass to get her to sit still.
But you know, I got to think with that other thing. There's some people think that some people have that like their senses
ESP.
are aware of that. Oh, like a human, like how a dog can sense a tsunami or something like that.
Like, mother nature, empath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what schizophrenics are.
Could be, man. So I will say this, with all those things mentioned, he's ready to kill people. And he'll go further to say that the people that he kills will telepathically invite him to kill them to appease these urges and to also ward off these earthquakes.
How many he killed? It's 13.
Yeah.
You got to imagine
In a short period
one
of time
them
as
was
well.
in traffic that day, just like fucking kill me, dude.
I didn't mean it. I just it's a term.
Oh, the first guy he killed. All right. So October 13th, 1972, he's driving through the Santa Cruz Mountains. The first guy he kills was the gentleman that John mentioned. It was a homeless guy who was hitchhiking. And Herbert Mullin drove past him, and he says that this guy telepathically said, "You should kill me." Herbert Mullin pulls over, pops the hood of his car open, and he's pretending like he's got car trouble. And this guy, being a good human being, says, "Hey, do you need help?" And Herb's like, "Yeah." The guy's like, "Well, listen, if I help you, could you give me a ride when we're done to wherever he needs to go?" And Herbert Mullin says, "Yeah." So while the guy's looking under the hood, Herbert Mullin takes out a baseball bat and he beats this poor guy to death.
This is the first one. He started with a bat.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I figured it started with a gun and then got more intimate as...
He started with a bat. He threw down an on-deck circle. I don't feel
Took
good
the
about
weight off
myself.
of it after he did a couple practice cuts.
It was
Yeah.
corked.
But that was his first murder. He beat a guy to death with a baseball bat.
Jesus Christ. And it's like you say, it's the mountains of Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
That's got to be really within like a 10-mile radius of the Kemper hitchhiking shit.
It's insane that they had two active serial killers at the same time.
Dude, it's such a small
At the same time, too. And it was
like
like
area in town.
it's like when they made like White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen, two White House movies at the same time, or the volcano movies, like they're both coming at the same time. Two major serial killers.
Tombstone, Wyatt Earp.
Yeah,
There's that scene in fucking Knocked Up.
yeah,
Like, everything comes in twos.
yeah. But that's
Yoshinoya Beef Bowl. Fucking, what's the other restaurant they say?
but then they become. It's incredible.
Manhands, I agree with you, and this is why you shouldn't help people.
I mean, that's true though. Like when me and
That's how they
Maggie were
get you.
driving through Death Valley last year, a couple years ago at night, there was a person pulled over, had like headlights on, thing up, and it's like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, we're in a national park, but it's like this is the fucking middle of the desert. They can bury you 20 feet from here, and nobody will ever find you. And I was like slowing down, and Maggie like looked at me and was like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, it's not.
We're in the middle. Don't ever like let them die. I don't care about them."
When I drove to California like 10 years ago, the last leg, I'm like, I can make it into LA, and I'm driving to like, is it Needles, California, or Bakersfield?
Yeah.
Needle, I think it was Needle. My truck was running fine. It just stopped. I pushed it too hard. And I know there's a part of your vehicle that will automatically shut down for like a safety reason. So I'm like, shit. And it's scary. There's no
You're
lights.
100
it's
miles from
trailers.
gas, probably.
All right. And I had to call AAA. I was waiting for it, but it was real. The tow truck guy goes, "You can stay on my trailer over there till tomorrow morning. Like, I'll take out your truck."
Oh my God, John.
Did you?
Yeah. So I'm like,
Nice.
shit. I'm like, I'm scared shitless. You know,
Yeah, you don't sleep at all,
Yeah.
right?
So as soon as daylight happened, I go, "Let me just see my truck." And I turned and started. I drove back into LA, but it died in it's Needles, California.
Right
Wow.
before, yeah, it's
Baker-
end of the
Bakersfield.
desert.
Yeah. I'm like,
There's Baker, Needles,
yeah.
something like that.
And you're right though. It's a dark, desolate.
Did the same guy get you this time? Like, well. Look who leaves without making coffee.
How do you like your eggs, you piece of shit?
He's just in my truck pulling away. The one puppet waved.
He was getting you a new hat for your puppet.
John, do any of your friends want to sit on the couch for the rest of this? Oh no, John.
He caught 3 serial killer puppets. in his, he's got it. But that part of did you ever drive to Carmel, California, by Brooklyn?
That's right south of Santa Cruz, not far from there.
It's the most beautiful part of the country.
Pebble Beach, right?
Oh my God, it's pine trees and beautiful, and the blue ocean.
I'm going out there in like 2 weeks.
Oh, where they film all the car commercials, where the car goes around the cliff.
Mhm.
It's right there.
That's Big Sur, yeah.
And there's the Patty Hearst, or dad.
Castle.
He imported a castle from Europe and had it built there. And
It's fucking crazy.
Oh,
man.
it's real beautiful. You can see the seals and stuff playing around. And it's a real scary highway. It's only 2 lanes going around all the cliffs. I think last year or the year before, there was a major slide and a big chunk of it. I don't know how they fixed it.
It took like a year, I think.
Yeah. But I recommend it. Vacation.
I would love to take you guys there.
I'm camping there in Big Sur in 2 weeks.
In 1987, I saved like $1,500. I went to LA and I rented a car and I drove up the Pacific Coast Highway. I stayed in Carmel and I went to
with that same AAA guy.
No, I stayed at some expensive hotel, but I took a walk over to the Hogs Breath Inn where Clint Eastwood was mayor, and he was in there. He was talking to people at the thing. And, it wasn't that crowd. When we walked out, people shook his hand. I shook his hand.
Did you say, "Go ahead, you made my day"?
Yeah, and
he's always there.
No, I don't know if he's still there now. He lived there, but he got mad because he had to put like a ramp in. And he got fined for it. And he got mad at the town council, so he ran for mayor. And,
just to not be ADA compliant? What a fucking dickhead.
I think that's the same way Sonny Bono did the same thing too. But it's so nice there. It's, my God, it's real expensive too. And you drive through the Big Sur, you see those giant redwoods that are 45 feet around. It's just real neat, beautiful part of the country.
Well, I'll be happy to spread your ashes there, John.
Yeah.
Get this shit. 11 days after his first murder, he kills again.
Gun.
Same area. No. Oh, dude, this woman is a hitchhiker. This woman named Mary Guilfoyle.
Ooh.
He kills her, and he brings her behind by this hillside where.
How'd he kill her?
I'm getting to that, dickhead.
Well, you said he kills her, and then you skip past.
All right, I'm sorry. That was my bad. All right, I feel terrible now. How can I make it up to you?
Wear the dunce cap.
Okay. John, pass me a dunce cap over there. All right, so
I guarantee he has a puppet dunce hat in his bag.
So, all right, he stabs this woman. All right. Over this hillside where like it's off the beaten path. So she's not found for 3 months after the murder. He stabs her and he positions her against a tree in a certain way that when she's cut open, he drapes her intestines over the branches.
Like a Christmas decoration. I read this. Like a Christmas decoration.
Jesus Christ. He went from fucking 0 to 60 in 2 murders.
And they found her
4 months later.
4 months later. And imagine what a horrific scene that must have been.
How animals had been fucking feeding on her at that point, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. All right. Is this his most gruesome one, or does he get crazier?
I think, well, I mean, he ends up killing a couple kids too. Actually, he kills
that's right. It was that kid.
6 kids.
This is, what do you hear?
Half his victims are children?
Oh, I can't wait to tell you this because you're going camping next week. But wait, we'll get to that. All right.
Great.
All right. So after this murder, he applies for the armed services.
That just broad military?
Well, he tried getting into each branch of the service. The Marines were the only ones who were going to take him.
Huh.
Now,
how does that make you feel?
Do
they go for the craziest?
Officer, how do you feel about that?
The Marines are my girl, my sister went out with a guy in the Army, the Navy, but she was run to the Corps. Oh wait, no one gets that joke.
He didn't end up going because the Marines asked for him to sign off on having access to his criminal record, which he was not okay with. The reality was there wasn't anything too bad on there. He had the possession of marijuana, and he had a disorderly conduct and public intoxication where he did assault a police officer.
And they'll still take you?
I don't know if they would have taken him, but he didn't want them to see that.
Yeah.
That might have disqualified him. I don't know. Or he just might not have just wanted that information public.
Okay.
At least I think he really wanted to join the service to continue the death sacrifice to stop earthquakes. Like he thought he'd just the murder would stop.
If he went and killed people
Yes.
in the army, it would have been
Is that
not
a-
considered murder, but it would have appeased his earthquake gods.
Yeah, as I say, is that like a god complex? Like he, like he thought he was doing God's work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it could be.
like Thanos.
All right. So a little over a week later, November 2nd, 1972, he heads to St. Mary's Church for confession.
I read this. Holy shit!
All right. His confession is heard by a priest named Father Henry Tomei. All right. So Father Tomei had no idea that his biological clock was ticking.
Why are you saying it? Why are you pronouncing it that way?
My cousin Vinny, Marissa
I know,
Tomei.
Tomei. You said Tomei.
Oh, fuck me then, man. I don't know. I'm not Italian. Actually, I am a little bit.
You are mostly.
You say potato. I say potato.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, unfortunately, Father Tomei hears his confession
and rats his ass out.
No. He stabbed to death in the confessional.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And there was
Wait, the earthquake already happened, right?
No.
No, and there was somebody in the church who saw like
Yeah, he saw him running away.
saw him run away.
Jesus.
3 Hail Marys. Oh,
I think I might have mentioned it before, but I used to have a recurring nightmare about a confessional.
Really?
About finding a head in the confessional.
Oh,
I think I told that on here.
I never heard it.
Yeah. I had it a bunch when I was a kid, but it stopped after a while, thankfully.
I grew up Catholic. Went to Catholic school for 12 years, and when we first went to confession, at my church, when you knelt down in the confessional booth, a little red cross, more like occupied.
Yeah.
I learned that the kneeling pad had a light switch in it.
Right.
So I would jump up and down on it, and the pastor saw me and grabbed me and yanked me out and started slapping me. And it's the first time I ever heard an adult curse, and he said, "You little bastard, stop doing that. It's the house of God." And he said, "Bastard."
Did you have a little Pope puppet in there with you?
Older boy puppet, yeah. Oh my God.
All right. So it's actually close a month and a half later for his next series of murders. So he kills the priest. He barely gets away with it because, like John said, somebody does see him leaving the church. He gets away with it. At this point, we're in late January. So January 25th, he makes up his mind to go visit his friend Jim Gianera, the gentleman who gave him weed for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He remembers that he lives in an area called Ben Lamond, which is in like a forest area.
Mm-hmm.
So he heads up there, and he heads to where he thinks Jim Gianera's house is. And it actually used to be Jim Gianera's house. Knocks on the door. A woman named Kathy Francis answers. He explains what he's doing. He's like, "Hey, I'm just here to see my friend Jim Gianera. Is he around?" She's like, "Oh, no, he doesn't live here anymore, but he doesn't live too far." She gives him directions to his new house. So old Herbie goes...
As a thank you gesture, cuts her fucking head off.
Well, he's heading to his friend Jim Gianera's new house.
And he's like, "Oh, I forgot to kill that woman."
Well, yeah. So he goes to Jim Gianera's house. Wait, I'm getting there. I'm sorry.
I'm detecting.
John, can you have the officer handcuff him? He heads to his friend Jim Gianera's house, shoots him as soon as he sees him. And Jim Gianera's like crawling through his house to try to tell his wife to fucking lock the door where she is. Unfortunately, he's not able to save her because Herbert Mullin ends up shooting and stabbing both the husband and the wife.
Like this is like out of, if this was on a movie, you think this isn't real,
right? Yeah,
it's crazy,
man. I think his last words were, "I should have never sold that guy weed."
John, what does your friend think about people who sell weed?
Oh, I can't think of it. Don't smoke weed. What's that shit called? Just do hash.
Thank you, officer. Can I ask your friend another question, John?
Yeah, sure.
So, officer, John and I have been fancying ourselves amateur detectives. Are you respective of that kind of work? Do you appreciate people trying to help law enforcement, or do you frown upon that?
No, we call amateur detectives Sherlock homos.
Did you guys fucking rehearse that, dude?
They don't know shit.
All right, well, that settles it. We have it, John.
Put on your blog.
Oh, man. All right,
Couldn't have
baby.
gone better.
Yep. All right, so unfortunately, Herbert Mullin now heads back to Jim Janera's former house.
Oh my god,
Where-
dude. 3 in a day?
No, brother, this is where that woman, Kathy Francis, lives.
Right.
Unfortunately, he doesn't want to leave witnesses behind, using that as his reasoning for killing her. And I'm sure he fucking says that she fucking telepathically told him to do so. He kills her, and she's got 2 fucking kids in the house.
Oh,
He kills her 2 kids, too.
5 murders in one day. Now it's
Yeah.
just like, that puts him at 8 murders?
Yeah, 8.
And
Are the rest
and
children?
Was he shooting with like a 22 or hammers? I forget how he was doing it, but just
I think those were the 22.
okay.
He had a handgun and he had a rifle as well.
Oh. No, it was the rifle. He shot the couple with. Oh,
Now, after this was less than 2 weeks later. So February 6, 1973, he's, for some reason, he's in the fucking forest again, and he comes across these 4 teenage kids camping, approaches them and says, "You're not allowed to be here." The kids tell him to fuck off. He briefly fucks off. Then he claims that at that point, telepathically, all 4 kids contacted him to say, "It's okay to kill us." So he goes back to the campsite and he shoots all 4 of these fucking teenage kids.
and he takes $20 off of them, and like I think that kid's had a gun too, like a hunting, like a pellet rifle or something. But just this is crazy. This is. Ugh.
And does he have one more after this?
Yeah, so there's only one more murder. That was February, did I say 6th? All right, February 6th. On the 13th, he commits a drive-by shooting.
Oh, and this is the one that he gets called from, right?
Yeah, so there's just a guy who just happens to be outside, this guy named Fred Perez.
Just a guy putting it out there telepathically that somebody should come by and fucking blow his brains out.
Actually, this might be the guy, because I know how often I go outside to like clean out my car when my wife's being a real ball breaker, and I'm just praying for fucking death rather than go back in and continue to hear it. So I don't know, John, this might be your one.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he goes out and he's just outside, and Herbert Mullin is driving past, and he shoots him. Now, fortunately, a neighbor sees the car, and she either commits the license plate to memory or writes it down. So later that night, he's arrested. And so police go to his apartment, and they find shit that belongs to the priest. They find like a fucking Bible and a rosary, and then they also find Jim Giannera's address book.
So taking
yeah,
fucking keepsakes from some of this,
which is new because he didn't do that for the previous murders. On March 1st, 1973, he's charged with 10 murders, but for some reason not the first 3. Now,
because there was not enough proof, or evidence.
I wonder if this factors into it, John, because at the time they know that there's a serial killer around, and I know
Kemper was
Edmund at the same time,
yeah.
And I think they know that he's not responsible for those, so they just charge him with the last 10.
Which, I mean, would have been the same punishment, probably.
Life sentence, yeah.
But not death sentence?
No, he gets life in prison.
Huh.
Now, he's found legally sane.
Was one of the first 3 the lady with the, like, her abdomen cut out? Oh, my God.
Ugh.
So I wonder if, like, I don't know, maybe just didn't have enough evidence for those, or...
Yeah.
But I think they knew the rest were going to be a slam dunk, and he would get life in prison. One other thing I want to add is that he referred to these messages that he was receiving as die songs.
like a song of death. They're singing. Oh,
Yeah, die songs.
Yeah, not the best. Doesn't have the best ring to it. I think you could have workshopped that a little bit.
yeah.
He is creative.
Yeah.
Could have auto tuned it or something.
It's got to be horrific. Like if you're a cellmate and all of a sudden he's just like, "Oh yes, turn this up." I'm all right.
Just sharpening a toothbrush. I love this one.
But that, I wonder if there was like in their minds, if it was in their mind they saw it as a competition with the other guy, the other murderer, whose story is just as horrific. The stuff he was doing to the women he was killing, but just what a crazy time. Both of them going together. Did you ever? Somebody had a video. I forget who it was, saying why is this stuff happening? It's growing as a word exponentially since like the 60s and years, or was there always mass murders just never?
I know
publicized.
One thing that gets mentioned sometimes, and I like to learn more about it, is the lead theory, lead poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like anybody who was an adult at this point, they had been subjected to so much lead that it may have affected their brains in such a way that, it fucked up enough of them.
Yeah, but are there less now per capita?
What, serial killers?
Yeah. I suppose so,
certainly,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see how this compares to other countries.
The population is like, it's got to be 100 million more people now than there was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, buddy.
Yeah, it's neat when you look at the statistics. Is there more? Just what's like you just said, it grows. It's still 1% of the population, just 1% more now.
Right.
It's just, someone had said this about school shootings.
Right. That's serial killing isn't the thing anymore. It's like mass shootings.
Yeah. Well, like the other guy from the Devil in the White City,
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah. They think he may have gotten 100 to 200 people.
Really? What year was he? Is he 1900s?
The Chicago World's Fairs, like 1888 or 1890.
Okay.
It's a great book to read. And where he's buried at
in Yeadon, right? The Acme, right?
They caught him in Philadelphia. And he was killing. He snuck off to Philadelphia after killing a wife and her kids, and they finally got him in Philly. And he died at the prison.
The Acme was a prison back in the day, right?
Maxing prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
They still have the wall around it.
And I believe he's buried in a cemetery in Yeadon, which is not far from here.
But it's weird. Now everybody's motives were different. H.H. Holmes, he was getting insurance money. This guy was hearing voices in his head, and the other guy, the 6'9" guy, hated women, hated his mother. Just what drives him is very interesting to read about.
Can I ask your friend another question, John? Now, officer, out of all the cases that you've handled, which has been the motive most common to you? And it's a two-part question. Which has been the motive that's been most disturbing to you?
It's like a serious question.
Well, we had the cheese fucker up in Mayfair. But his
lovely wife.
Are we allowed to talk about
his elbow was full of holes. I don't know. It's just sad all around. I really feel sorry for the people's pets. Like, who's going to take care of the parakeets when they get killed by these mass murderers? Yeah, all right. Not laughing? Go ahead. Tweet about that.
Thank you, officer.
Oh, no. I have a little surprise for you guys if you want.
What is that? I would love it, John.
All right.
Can I just add real quick that he was convicted of 10 counts of murder, 8 first degree, 2 second degree. The 2 second degree charges, I believe, were the 2 children. Because he didn't know they were there initially. And he's now serving a life sentence.
He's alive.
He's still alive.
Holy shit.
He was actually in Mule Creek State Prison in Ione, California. And he was actually up for parole in 2020.
This is
Yeah.
This is what I wanted. I should have stopped at the right or something, but I have his address and the other guy's address too. When Santa Cruz, there's the
him on the right.
Guy.
Yeah.
It was like young James Taylor, but you can write them a postcard.
Oh.
Both guys have said they're both pretty like lucid. Oh wait, no, the other guy, the 6'9" guy, had a stroke a couple years ago. But
Pepper's dead.
Yeah.
But these guys,
I think he's dead, right?
No, both
Pepper
guys
is alive.
Yeah.
But
But
he's just a little stroked out now.
but the 6'9" guy had like a 145 IQ. But it's just it's weird. I think these guys, when of the different interviews I read about them, were very lucid. They knew what they were doing. Like they were not. Sometimes when they say that the killings were another personality, they it's like blocked off. These guys motive, they knew what they're doing. It's a fascinating study. My father, retired plumber, even though my dad was a worker, he wasn't a college educated, but he was very smart. But one of his good friends was a guy who started that VDOC Society, which is the retired police officers who get cold cases.
Oh.
And they would meet like once a week or once a month, and they would talk. It's like we're doing now. Talk.
We
about
could add something to that.
It's called the VDOC Society. It's based on like a Greek term, but they always talk about famous cases in Philadelphia, different mass murderers, ones that got away.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think these murder stories are interesting too. When there's a murder spree for 2 years and it just stops.
Yeah.
Like what happened? Did the guy just? Oh, I'm done.
Well, to that point, John, the one that last year, John and I went to Indiana to go check out the crime scene and around the crime scene of this double murder in Indiana that happened in 2017. And the details haven't been released, but by all indications, it was a horrific crime scene. And I think these two kids were targeted. But to that point, I think the guy hasn't been caught, but I think because of the nature of the crime scene, he has to do it again. Either he's going to die or he just has to do it again at some point. And that's, I think, one of the only ways that they're going to be able to catch him.
Was this like a fast food restaurant or something, or a McDonald's?
No.
But yeah, there must be it must become a pivot point in your mind. You dwell on it. Then you have a need to do it again. That thrill of getting caught. That VDOC cop, retired cop, was a detective in Philadelphia, and he told me this, that when people would break into someone's house for a burglary, the thrill, the adrenaline rush that was going through them, a lot of times they had to go to the funny sit-down bathroom.
Oh my God!
And he said, "Can I say shit? All right,
Funny sit-down bathroom.
You know, clown noise.
I'd prefer if you said funny sit-down bathroom.
But they would, but they would find a lot of times in burglaries, not in a dumpy, I think in a place they could get caught. They had to move their bowels. They had to, and they would find you. And he goes in the mid '90s is when they start using DNA testing.
Oh no!
But
that's got to be the worst if you're like a burglar and you're taking a shit and you realize there's no toilet paper.
Last week got caught Middle Duke.
Oh yeah. What the fuck was his name?
2 people got murdered because he had diarrhea.
Oh, what was that fella's name? McNair.
He was a Supermax, right?
Yeah.
That's very
wow, man.
It's a fascinating, but it's the stuff that detectives can like pick up on things, and that story, and that guy's still alive, born like 1947. Like you could probably correspond with that guy.
John, I'd like to correspond with your friend one more time if possible. Officer, I just have a quick question regarding to what your buddy John just mentioned. Do you come across many crimes where shit is involved? And if so, do you have any kind of training in shit analysis, or do you hand that off to a different department?
Well, we call it a number 2 offense. Or is it 1? But you know, if you're clean, your shit record will be wiped.
Oh my God.
Jake, you see what you're missing?
Puppetry of the retard.
Actually, how rude of me. Chat, do you have any questions for our police officer friend here?
I have a question regarding the puppet. Do you get these at the these felt ones at
the Academy? Yes.
At the Love Park Christmas thing?
That's where he's from.
Yes, I know it. I knew I saw this motherfucker before.
And he comes in 3 different sizes, and there's one you can hit a button and his eyes light up. There's nothing more scary for kids. Like, hey, he goes like first graders, don't do drugs, kids. And his eyes light up. All right, yeah, you'll leave prison with a size 7 poop shoot. You'll get raped in prison, kids.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions for Officer, good night, Colin.
Well, that's this is it's such a rabbit hole to go down to. Like, sometimes you guys are talking about this stuff. You listen to it, you're on your phone, and you're on your phone until your phone dies. You're like, fuck, I got to plug it back in. It's because it's the stuff you can find is incredible.
Well, just in regards to that case that I mentioned that John and I had gone to check out. Right. There's so many people, thankfully, like keeping the case alive. Just normal citizens just talking about it, and I'm convinced that like when they do finally make a break in this case, that will have played a large part in it. Because obviously, the police really aren't making any fucking headway here.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend who's the cop in Philadelphia, he's not a beat cop. He's a detective, but he goes, I could tell you stuff, but I can't. I got to be retired. Mm-hmm. The stuff he's seen, or his interesting way of catching people. And I sometimes go out to lunch and I'll just screw around and say, did you ever arrest a guy and it was his twin brother? And he goes, well, no. He goes, several times we've had guys give them they were twins, but he gave the twins name.
And he ratted out their own brother to not get caught.
But he's told me some like very interesting stories about how they catch a lot of these criminals too. Like a lot of murder cases too. He goes, the number one thing they do today is the ring cameras. When they detect motion,
he
goes, I can follow a guy like you're doing a puzzle at a Arby's placemat. You just, throw a little arrow, just by walking down the street and ask him, he'll go into the house and they'll play it on the computer and he'll use his cell phone. And it'll just say solving a mystery. Mm-hmm. Very story. Also too, when I go out with him for like lunch, his phone rings with snitches, and I go, this is just like Starsky and Hutch with Huggy Bear, right? And I go, what do you give them in return? He goes, well, they get them out tickets, or I'll make phone calls for them, or I'll tell. But he actually has snitches. There's a shooting every night.
CI, right?
Yes.
Cooperative informant.
Yep.
Is that what it stands for?
And he tells me these stories. It's just like out of a TV show.
He's Philly proper detective,
and he's down like Bridge and Pratt area. But it's just the stories. There's shootings every night. He goes, we'll have us by about 4 days. How come they release town if they kill somebody? He goes, they're stupid.
Yeah, where would they go anyway?
Yeah, it's like, I'm so your brain's so trained from watching detective shows on TV. I'm going to do my crime and move to Buenos Aires.
Right? Yeah.
No.
We got a couple questions. One for Jake. Yeah, that'd be great, man. I'll message you and I'll let you know when we'll be there.
That would rule.
Yeah, if you want to come, I think the night we're going to be there is October 26th. We're going to Universal Studios Horror Nights. So I think we'll be there the night of the 26th. So if you're around the park and you see 4 retards,
feel free to join us. Setting up a tripod.
But we'd love to meet up with you guys. Oh, you have a question from Michael Trainer. What does that say, John? Can you read that?
Where is it? I have a question.
Officer, what district do you work in?
And what details have you done?
Is
this for the puppet? He really gets pleasure out of putting this puppet back on his hand.
I was in the Bunko squad. We caught this guy who was painting parakeets yellow and selling them as canaries. He got 4 life sentences.
All right, John, Cole Benjer. Cole, I was just thinking of you today. Cole, you popped into my mind today because I was thinking about when I met you at Skankfest. Cole asked, Officer, what's the best way to pass the sobriety test?
Oh, man. The best way to pass the sobriety test is suck on your Christmas tree air freshener and put 4 pennies under your tongue.
Thank you, Officer.
Advice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jerry, we're looking to. Yeah, Casey Anthony is a big reason why we're coming to Florida in a couple months, man. So I can't wait to see everything Casey, and man, I hope to meet her. I don't know.
Does she still live in the area?
I gotta assume she's still there. She's Florida to the core, baby.
I mean, yeah, she couldn't have moved out of the state, but is she still in that county?
We're gonna find her.
We are gonna find her.
I am stunned she's not on social media.
She's got to be under an assumed name.
Yeah.
Burner account.
Yeah, she looks like a hotter Alanis Morissette.
Oh, baby. We got a question from Monroe. John, can you read that?
Monroe. Officer, What's the protocol for tracking down crimes on the dark web?
Ooh.
You might as well just keep that thing on your hand.
Officer, I'll give you time to get ready on John's hand, but on one of my last solo trips to Los Angeles, I got so hammered. I was drinking all day, and I was in a Korean buffet by myself waiting to be seated, and I was trying to download Tor, the dark web browser, to my phone so I could try to find coke, and it never fucking surfaced.
Oh my
Thank God it wouldn't download, so I'm here to tell the tale.
Well, for the dark web, we check out Reddit and other sub social computer conversations, and we found the shit murderer because he was using a computer, but it was a shit murderer. It was an IBM. IBM. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't suck on air fresheners when you get DUIs either.
Thank you, officer. Oh, I just want to point out to you guys, we're going to be doing our first Little Stinkers live show. I'll have the exact date for you within the next week. It's going to be in February. I'm sorry, it's going to be in November. This November, and it's going to be at Helium Philly. And when I have all the details later this week, I'll post about it everywhere, and I'll put it in the Patreon as well. And John, Jake, and I are all going to be doing stand-up, and after that, we're going to do a live podcast. So
if you live in the lower 48, you better be there.
Oh, God, I can't fucking wait. Servo asked, officer, is Paco the puppet your snitch?
Yes, he is.
I'm pretty sure he asked the puppet, John.
Oh, I can't do a Spanish accent
because you're not allowed.
Oh yeah, I'm not an El Stitcho.
Now, I did notice that one of your puppets is an old tube sock with ping pong balls glued to the top of it. Was that inspired by an old MTV show by any chance?
Yes.
Syphil and Ollie?
Yes.
Did you watch that show?
I did not. No.
It was the fucking funniest.
I can't, for some reason, I can't get my hand out of this puppet now. Ladies. This sock puppet.
Oh, God, Monroe, you better believe we're coming back to Zany Chicago, baby. That's an awesome club. Nat, we're going to have to find our way up to Portland somehow. Oh, that's a great question. King of Ad Rock 1. Officer, will we ever get an Impractical Jokers episode on Little Stinkers?
I think it's statistically impossible not to.
I agree.
One of these weeks it will happen.
I'm with you 100%, so I would bank on it.
Yeah, there's a chance every week.
There's about 15 different ways where I'm figuring out a way to get you in a Practical Jokers episode. And
with a certain guest?
Possibly.
Okay.
Some of them involve that and others don't.
All right. Well, I mean, it's not really up to you. It's up to the coin.
When
True.
When those guys first started, they came to Helium like about 2 or 3 times, weeks. And then the next time they started doing theaters, now they do like the Impractical Jokers cruises. They got really big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys are the fucking best.
And they're nobody. They're not like they're us.
Watch your fucking mouth. They are everything.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, like they aren't like trained comedians. That's what I mean. It's just that show's fantastic.
Snoofney, I agree. 145 IQ, but says coupe like a retard. And Snoofney, I think this was you that asked it, but
wait, who said coupe?
Edmund Kemper instead of coupe.
Oh yeah.
But I think it was you that asked Snoofney about coming to Los Angeles, but that's definitely going to happen sometime soon.
One of them in LA, my friend, oh God, I can't remember his freaking name now. It was very Miguel Ferrero, which is just anyway. He was obsessed with the BTK killer, and he started singing a song. Is it Blind? Wait,
Bind, Torture, Kill.
Yeah, and he had a song. Bind, Torture, Kill. It's the BTK killer, and he was just like you guys about different thing. He was obsessed with it, and I think he went berserk when the guy didn't he confess he's in jail now. Like they got him right.
The BTK.
Yeah, the bald guy with the brown hair on the sides and the
glasses, real fucking
looks like a pharmacist or something, optometrist.
But this is such a neat podcast because there's so many people. It's just a fascinating.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are a never-ending amount of serial killers.
We're gonna do this until we're all dead.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue. Our spirits will. What?
Can you promise me this, John? If I should have to get chased by the police again, will you continue to do this podcast without me?
Chased to death?
It can happen. Not all cops are nice cops like that guy that got
Let's
me.
not jump to conclusions, but yeah, I'll figure out a way.
Thank you. My spirit will live on.
I think you've said enough words into camera that we can CGI it and do a deep fake. I mean, shit, they're making a second fucking Black Panther movie. I think we can make a couple more episodes without you.
All right, 3B, what happened with the OJ house footage? Jake's actually editing that now. There's some very funny stuff on there that I can't wait for people to see.
Yeah, we were creeping around that
Woo,
fucking
brother.
neighborhood.
All right, so I'm going to tell them what we did.
Yeah.
So John and I had a bet to see who could drive the fastest from the back of Nicole Simpson's house to OJ's residence. So we had a race
Because
and
he
we
did
filmed
it in,
it.
what, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, something like that?
I don't
8 and a
remember.
half?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which
John,
sounds very fast.
yeah.
But they weren't far from each other. They were very close together. You just think in LA, oh, it's going to take fucking 20 minutes to get anywhere.
Right.
Because of the line from the movie Clueless. But we both beat the time. We had a race.
did. Yeah, we had a race,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to tell you who won, but both John and I beat the time from Nicole to OJ's house, and
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure the neighbors loved it.
On Pawn Stars last week, a guy came into the guys in Vegas with the white Bronco, the actual one.
Oh, wow.
And he was trying to sell it for he wanted $140,000 for it.
Wait, he bought it from the auction?
No, this guy, I forget how he got. I think it was like a lease that went back to the dealership, and he went to the dealership. And
Oh,
bought
wait,
it.
yeah. It wouldn't have been evidence because he never fucking got arrested.
Yeah, just to,
Yeah.
and he wanted 140 grand for it, and the guy from Pawn Stars goes, I don't know. He goes, even though it has lure behind it, I cannot justify giving
That's a lot,
140
yeah.
grand. It's great shape. It's like a 91 or 94
Mhm.
Bronco.
That
but-
seems like a bargain for.
so they went for a ride in it, and the Chumleys in the back going, "Oh, look at me! Yeah, all right." And you're like, "Haha, they're having fun about two murderers."
One of the
Alleged.
Oh
yes, thank you for clearing that up, John. One of the owners of the LA Lakers was on Jimmy Kimmel, I think last week, and she told a very funny OJ story. Did you hear that?
No.
Shortly after OJ was acquitted, he hit up the Lakers owner for tickets. Jerry Buss, who's a very nice man and I guess a very loyal friend, agreed to give OJ tickets. And OJ came there with two other guys, and they parked their car. They went into the event. They watched the Laker game. When they came out, their car was towed because apparently they parked in an area where they weren't allowed to park. And Jeannie Buss said, so it just goes to prove you can't get away with everything. And OJ took to Twitter to clarify her story,
Wow.
which had to be
Hey, Twitter.
poopy inducing. Yeah, hello, Twitter world. Man, I'll tell you, a few things warm my heart than when OJ hit you with a hello, Twitter world.
Dude, how about OJ being in my family
Oh, my
scrapbook?
God.
Danny, can you please tell the story to the chat?
Yeah, so I'm scrolling through Instagram and my cousin posts a picture of my aunt feeding cake to OJ.
Oh man!
And
Not when OJ was a baby.
No, it was a very flirty picture.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like, I'm pretty confident
Ah.
my Anthony's banged OJ.
Yeah, there was vibes emanating from that photo
Yeah.
album.
That's fucked up.
There was I read
You
some profile.
might be a Simpson, Dan.
She can test it.
I read some profile on OJ said that in the 70s, like when he was starting, this is all speculation. The guy was talking about the not pure steroids they had.
You could probably use number 32 in me, but go ahead, John.
Right. But he said a lot of times those guys he goes, did you ever look at the size of OJ Simpson's head? It's gigantic.
It is huge,
His hands
yeah.
are big. But he said like Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbo, Lou Ferrigno, they have these giant heads and a gap in their teeth. But he said it's got to be because they showed like another relative of OJ who looks normal looking, but they think they were all steroided out.
Yeah.
Huge features.
Just a big man.
Yeah.
Sam, Jake is actually opening for Kurt Metzger tonight. That's why Jake's not here.
Oh,
But
at the punchline? Or?
no, it's a private gig
Oh.
somewhere.
theater,
Yeah,
Malvern
I
or
don't know.
something. Question for you, Danny Dubs. Do you know what year that picture was from?
I asked my dad about it. He said it was most likely 91 when my uncle had a DJing job in Buffalo.
Oh
Damn,
man, you
so-
can't be.
Hot off some Naked Gun action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow, dude. Okay, so dude, he was the biggest. I mean, sports legend and a fucking hilarious actor
Mm.
and pre-murder.
Yeah.
What a great time
Just ramping up
to
for that
feed
murder.
cake to OJ. Was there a better year
No.
to feed OJ
No.
cake?
Did you ever hear too? He was the first pick for the Terminator.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
before Arnold did it. Yeah.
Before he told his ex-wife and her friend, "Hasta la vista." Oh, Danny, Nat asked if you could post that photo to the Patreon. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, of course. Only Patreon.
Yes. If that ends up on fucking Instagram, you're toast. All right.
Oh, there's a very neat site on Facebook called Death Hags of Hollywood, and whenever a celebrity dies, people post about, and it's no filters. Like no one's like, "Oh, be respectful." No, these people don't give a shit, and they'll put pictures up and photographs before Facebook will take them down for privacy rules, or else they'll put the link up to Reddit or some other form. Like you could for a real bit. I'm not a death hag, but they had the Kobe Bryant photographs.
Oh,
And you really couldn't see what it was. It was because he was ripped to
right,
shreds.
yeah.
But it was Paul Walker, like just
Damn.
it's called
Jesus.
Death Hags, and it's just people were obsessed with. Someone had a link. I didn't see it though. The mother from the Judds who shot herself.
Oh, Jesus.
But
You look at these pictures, John.
I got to it too late.
The puppets do, John.
He does. This guy's a freak.
That's why his eyes light up.
But it's some people go too far. Like no, sometimes you got. Do I have to see this? And
Right,
I
yeah.
won't look at. I can turn it off.
I can't look at that shit.
Um,
You look at that shit, don't you?
No, not often. I have looked at it, but I don't like looking at it.
No.
Like there was a show that Tim had with might have been with our friend Christian. They did it one time for maybe like a Fringe Festival thing where they were like reacting to like fucked up videos or showing the most fucked up videos that they had. And this was before like all this shit became super popular.
Yeah.
And Tim tried showing me some of the videos and
Oh no.
I couldn't do it. No.
Would the audience also see the videos, or
Yeah.
were they just seeing
Oh,
the
man.
reaction?
No, you could see the whole video.
was it
No.
one of those most offensive Fringe Festival shows?
Probably, yeah.
I can't even watch like nature videos on Instagram.
Oh, I don't
a
like that
fucking,
either.
Like
No.
a cougar or bear eating a fucking baby moose. It's like
Yeah.
I just want to see him fuck.
That's why I want to see.
that's what I'm talking
I
about.
want to see Rhino Scissor, like stuff like that. That's not a. The only time I like those videos is when the little animal gets away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other animal starves to death. That piece of shit.
I agree, Nikki. Anthony's is no hag. Danny disagrees. Oh, Dan, that's so cool, though, man. We gotta find OJ.
Yeah, right. Weren't we?
We were
You're going to Vegas. You should take a look around.
I might forgo my obligations at Skankfest to go find OJ.
You're gonna be there on a Sunday in October, so the Bills will probably be
Oh
playing.
my God, John!
He goes to that bar every week, right? Or some weeks.
John.
Dude, you gotta check it out.
I gotta get a picture with
Maybe
him.
I'll fly out and
I love you so much for recommending that.
I can write this off if it's for the podcast. Can I?
Yeah, come.
Ooh, if you're a tax guy or you're the IRS, fuck you. If you're a CPA, talented CPA, get at me.
Oh my God, John!
Dude, if
That would be
we
incredible.
Even fucking talked about looking for OJ, I think I can write this flight off.
Maybe I'll head up by Anthony's and see if she has any
Dang.
connection to the
Oh, man.
Yeah,
juice.
can you call his house number from 91?
Yesterday was the big election at Wyoming with Liz Cheney.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking politics. That's the damnation of everything. OJ endorsed Liz Cheney. He goes, "Oh, she's a terrific candidate. I'm all for her."
Aw.
I'm like, that's an endorsement you want.
I knew OJ was a good guy. Well, it didn't help her because she got her fucking ass whooped.
Nat, I'll take you up on that. If you and Jacob want to go with me and Jamie to meet OJ, we're going to make that happen.
Oh my God, just a fucking Sunday at Skankfest is like 50 people are missing because we're all wearing Bills jerseys going bar to bar.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. Thank you, John.
Do you know like what your schedule is yet there?
Not yet, no. Last time, I think I had like 2 obligations a day.
Okay,
But
you will have
there's
to do
enough
something
space
on
in between
Sunday.
as to where, like, if you have something you want to do, you can just go do it.
Yeah. All right.
And Sunday night, like, everything's done, so.
And that's
Oh yeah. What if it's a night game? That'd be even better.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Vegas in October is a really nice time of year too. It's warm during the day, but at night you get that desert.
You got to put a fucking sweatshirt on it. Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
real nice time there.
100% OJ would kiss you on the cheek. You know he's still a ham with ladies.
Yeah, for sure.
Bill Maher told the story his theory, like he goes about OJ doing that. He said, think about him. He showed athletic prowess at like 13 years old as a foot player. He had everything given to him, his tests taken, steroids, he passed in college, just pushed him through because he knew he was a star athlete. And then and he goes, what it is, when OJ became older, he never matured past a 13-year-old kid. And
Yeah, just a guy.
yeah, because if he can't have his wife, nobody can. And he goes, he still thinks like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Even though OJ was out having girlfriends all over the place, but he was just that fixated on it. But he said just like a bratty kid.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very astute observation.
I bet you that's the first time you've ever said that about Bill Maher, huh?
I know. Yeah, he looks like Joe Camel.
Mike, please wear your OJ suit at Skankfest. All right, guys, we got to figure out this. People going to Skankfest, we're going to have a field trip to go find OJ. So we might have a side quest. I know you guys have spent thousands of dollars already, but I'm asking you, as a person, to please abandon all the plans you've made so we can go find OJ together. How great would it be to have a class picture with OJ?
God damn, that
man.
would be so fucking funny. But I should it just be us doing it, or should we bring a gang of people?
I want all of our friends to do it with us.
I guarantee you, one of your subscribers or fan will go. I know a way.
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
We will figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt, you're probably right. The more brain power we got on this, we need a fucking think tank.
If I right now we have at least 10 retard minds working on this. We're going to make it happen.
He probably goes to a golf course regularly.
Yeah. Golf course.
Yeah.
There is a bar that he frequents,
Yeah.
a Bill's
Yeah.
bar in Vegas that would be the number one
Baby. Yeah.
thing. All right, this is
Oh,
so
man.
fun. Another trip to research. Yeah.
If you get a ticket, John, I'll reimburse you for it. I'll pay half of your ticket.
No, the government's got this. Pal.
All right, cool. All right, cool. So John's coming to Skankfest now. Oh my God.
Unless I'm making grilled cheeses up in Port Chester, New York for the Phil Lesh shows. We'll see.
I will cut Phil Lesch's head off. Oh my God.
No, then he can't sing.
Oh, is he the fish guy?
He's a bass player. In
I would be
but he
doing the world a
doesn't play.
favor.
Oh no. He's
Dead guy.
Grateful Dead.
Oh, okay.
He's the only living member that doesn't play with the John Mayer version.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know if they got beef or what.
You know why it's so hot on stage at
Why?
a Grateful Dead concert?
Why?
Because none of their fans work.
You know I ain't got a job, pal. What a fucking great joke. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Wow, this is exciting. We're gonna find OJ. and
We
we're
are.
beat
We're gonna get his ass.
It's like-
No.
I know.
Yeah.
he probably has flunky bodyguards.
Yeah.
No, there's like on Twitter, there's videos of people. I don't think you can just run up to him and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey," but like if you're sitting near him in this bar,
But-
he'll let you come over and say like.
You know,
At least there's been videos of this, right?
Yeah.
he looks like the father on Dinosaurs. Just a big hair. It's just a.
I think the key is like you really grease him up if you're a lady that approaches him. And if you have ladies in your party
Yeah, we will need ladies.
that are ooh and and over him. Is that the sounds right?
I don't know what you're trying to say, pal.
I'm just monkeying around, baby. But yeah, I think the key is we'll send the ladies in the first wave
Yeah,
and we'll pull up the rear.
yeah. That's how you get into Club OJ, dude.
Yeah.
Love OJ.
Oh my God. I would be beside myself if my wife got to meet OJ and I didn't.
Oh.
I'm more excited about this than my camping trip coming up.
I'm glad you are.
And I don't even have the tickets yet. Yes, we're gonna fucking kill OJ. I mean, we're gonna meet OJ.
We're going to get him. We're going to get a picture with him.
You just got juiced, baby. Oh man.
We got to prank. What? Oh, we got to think of a good prank so we can juice him.
No, we can't surprise that guy.
Yeah.
That would be a bad idea.
Oh, we got 2 retarded ladies on it right there. Oh God, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get his little ass. All right. So Nat and Manhands, thank you for taking the lead on this. Cole Benger, I'm glad you're in, brother. I know I'm not gonna have to convince Mike Trainer to be in. Oh my God, this is gonna be so much fun, man.
All right,
we gotta prank him now. So if anybody can think of a good prank that we could play on OJ when we meet him,
well,
to make it memorable,
yeah, that would be a good group project, but I don't think we should prank him.
I do. I would be. Listen,
it's got to be really good, and it cannot startle him.
No,
the last thing we need is to startle him while he's cutting up a steak.
John,
all right?
If I'm on TMZ,
if I'm stabbed to death by OJ Simpson, that is how I want this podcast to end.
Yeah, that would be
poetic justice.
The first Joker's ep is the eulogy at your funeral.
Oh my God! Yes, this is how this podcast has to end.
That's it.
What a life I've had. I've really enjoyed my life. Thank you guys so much, John. I can't thank you enough, man.
Thank you,
John.
Thanks for bringing your gang.
Listen, we don't get to see each other often, and I'm glad we've gotten to reconnect often because of the podcast. But I just want to tell you, I love you so much, John.
Thank you. You too.
I value your friendship so much. You are one of the funniest people on the fucking planet, and I'm so glad that so many people get to see you.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is now when I get a wave of people going, dude, you're crazy with those puppets. As if I really use them. They're all covered in dust.
Not anymore, baby. Dust them up. John, do you want to? Do you have anything you want to plug before we?
I got my own podcast called Kensil Culture, like cancel culture. That's on Apple and Google Podcasts. I do it with my friend, the legendary Wid.
Oh, Wid's amazing.
It's nice. Wid's my partner. Right, he knows everything about entertainment. But you guys talk about contemporary things. Wid, I'll mention something that's happening today, and he only knows about like a Doris Day movie. In the 40s. I'm like, can we talk about somebody OD'd or some story today? It was 1932. Larry Fine's stunt double fell on steps and broke his. It doesn't. Bleh. But I do. I Mike, this is great. I'm so glad too. You found this the niche. This is to get your humor out, your discussion of who you are. This is fantastic. Really dig it,
John. Do any of your friends want to say anything before we go?
Well, he can't. He's not proper. But legalize hemp. Buy hemp soap.
All right, Jake will be back from his swingers retreat next week. Chat, what an incredible night. Thank you guys so much, as always, but especially thank you for the way you've ended this with vowing to find OJ when we get to Las Vegas in October. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
I know. I'm not going to be able to sleep for the next month and a fucking half. Dude.
Oh, my God.
Just think about walking in the room and you see him sitting at a bar high.
I will piss and shit myself as soon as I lay eyes on him.
Oh, my God. It's, oh, my God.
Man. What a day that's going to be.
He looks like the father from Dinosaur, like that big wide.
I'm going to tell him you said that. I'm going to give him a business card with your address on the back. All right. Chat, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. Danny Dubs, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Kat Anjala, Kensil, thank you guys. See you next week.
Bye.